We stumbled into this place called Plymouth Village, and make a long story short, my forefather was there. I saw my forefather. I sat down and talked with my forefather. And that wasn't even a vision. That was real. This is a guy who was playing the part. Maybe he was trained in Hollywood, but he was playing the part, the role of my forefather, and they study the history of each person who came over on the Mayflower, and I got to interview my forefather. He asked me where I'm from. I said, I'm from Washington, D.C. He said, oh, I've heard that land is rife with thieves and hunters. Didn't expect that. And I asked him, how's it going in church? He said, oh, there's a very unusual experience that we as a congregation are having. He said, unlearned men and even women are standing up in the service, and they're even prophesying. They're prophesying. They are declaring the word of the Lord. Who ever heard of prophesying pilgrims? I know the pilgrims, you think, well, they made really dry turkey, and that tradition carries through to today, and no, they were on fire for the Holy Spirit. They wrote this covenant called the Mayflower Compact in covenant with God and in each other, and they literally experienced the manifest presence of God even while writing this covenant that shaped our nation, committing the land and government to the glory of God and the advancement of the Christian faith. The date that the Pilgrims signed the Mayflower Compact and established this civil body politic that became the United States of America from sea to shining sea was 11/11/1620. And I mentioned to Pastor X, I said, that's the date that the Mayflower Compact was signed by the Pilgrims. He said, oh, yes, I do. This was a covenantal expression from sea to shining sea. And I just think that, God takes covenant seriously, doesn't he? He considers when we come into covenant with him corporately, it's an expression of marrying him and him even marrying the land. He makes a covenant commitment to the land. He remembers the cries of our forefathers, doesn't he? And he captures sons and daughters to rise up with that same fire in the depths of their being. A dream that seems absolutely impossible to attain until you step forward, and all of a sudden the path becomes clear, the way becomes clear.
The Gathering Place.